SwayamPrabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Welcome to the next lecture on frugal innovation. So, frugal innovation is now a talk of the town when you are trying to talk about any of the product designs. So, frugal is also called as sustainable innovation. So, what is sustainable? Sustainable means we are trying to use minimum resources without sacrificing the customer's satisfaction. So, what is customer satisfaction? Whatever customer intended to make or get through a product, he should not find it difficult. He should still enjoy to use the same product, but the resources which is involved in making the product has to be as economical as possible. So, for example, modular design, which is followed in product design, is part of sustainable innovation, where we talk about frugal innovation. It is a very important topic, and there is a difference between frugal and jugaad. Frugal means where you try to reproduce the same design, same process, and it has good repeatability and reliability. That is frugal. When you say jugaad, jugaad is one time solution which need not be efficient, which need not be economical, but it has temporarily given a solution, wherein which we do not bother about the effect. For example, jugaad, the plastic bags, I would say it is a jugaad technology. People wanted to have carry bags, so plastic came into existence. Now, everybody was happily using plastic bags, then the cost became very economical because of competitive market. Today, the spreading of plastic is more, and now we realize that it is now creating lot of damage to Mother Earth. So, it is a jugaad solution, and now people realize, so plastics is going to create a problem, so slowly let us get away from this plastic. But frugal is a cloth bag. You make or produce a cloth bag which is reliable, repeatable, and which is giving customer satisfaction. So, everything, so that is frugal. There are several frugal success which Indians have demonstrated, which we will see in the last phase of this lecture. So, in the frugal innovation, we will be covering introduction to frugal innovation, frugal versus regular innovation. There is a difference between regular and frugal, reverse diffusion process, frugal innovation, the challenge, frugal innovation value chain model we will see, frugal innovation process, and what are the traits required for a frugal innovator, and the last we will see some 3 examples where in India successfully frugal innovation has been demonstrated. So, when we talk about frugal innovation, the study of innovation has been subjected to various paradigmatic shift in the recent decade, that is from push to pull. So, what is push and what is pull? Push is there is a technology which is recently developed and people the market does not understand whether that is needed or not. So, that the company tries to push into the market is push. So, it is always called as technology push, smartphone technology push, right. So, pull, market pull is there is a needy customer, there is a needy customer who wanted a solution and the customer wants. So, what we do is we try to move towards pull, from push to pull. So, today when we talk about ERP system, enterprise resource planning system, it all works almost on the pull system. What customer wants, they forecast and they start producing it for their requirements. from open to close, from producer to user, from profit driven to social. So, all these things are major paradigmatic shift which is happening in the recent market. So, from profit driven to social. So, earlier people were thinking of making only profit. Plastic bags, company which made plastic bags were looking for their profit, but they did not think of social costs. But today there is a major shift in the company's lookout, profit driven to social. So, what they say is it's not that they are going to sacrifice their profit, but they are not going to give so much of weightage to profit, but give weightage to social. Those changes in the understanding of innovation has often been preceded by radical transformation of the economy to the social landscape. From economy to social landscape is what the people are thinking for, and for this frugal innovation is important topic. In the past decade, yet another shift has started, was materialize. The definition is, as the process of frugal innovation discovers new business models, reconfigures value chain, redesigns product to serve user who face extreme affordability constraints in a scalable and a sustainable manner. Extreme affordability constraint. For example, today in medical field, the hospitals are giving good care, but the only thing is customers are not able to be happy after this care is because their costs are exorbitant. So, people are nowadays looking for good service, economical costing. Okay. So, that is what. So, the frugal innovation discovers a new business model. So, you have to rechange the business model whatever you had. From push to pull is a business model. Reconfigure value chains. How should it be the market supply? Should we use for resources which is available in some other country, or should we look for resources locally? Government of India is now taking lot of initiatives in the construction industry, how to use the locally available resources for construction. For example, in northeast bamboo is available. Can we think of using bamboo exorbitantly instead of steel rods? They are looking forward. So, reconfiguring the value chains, redesigning products to serve user who face extreme affordable constraints. For example, let us take a smartphone. In a smartphone today which is worth of 30,000 rupees or 40,000 rupees, the company gives an ad saying that my smartphone is used for more than 150 to 200 apps. 150 to 200 apps to operate on a smartphone is fabulous, but how many apps do we use? 10, maybe 20. So, but you have given a cost of 40,000 and got a higher end smartphone wherein which you can run 150 apps, whereas your requirement was only 20 apps. So, now this frugal innovation says that if you want 20 apps to be operated, buy a product which can operate 40 apps. So, the cost comes down, the resources which is involved in developing the product comes low, and the cost of the smartphone comes low, it becomes affordable. Okay. The other thing is, when you talk about medical industry, what has happened is there are several successful stories in India which has been demonstrated using frugal. What happens is, in medical industry, the ampule whatever the doctor breaks, a patient might require half of the ampule or 3/4 or quarter of an ampule. And so, that when the ampule is broken, if this ampule of medicine could be served for 2-3 people, the cost which is involved for buying that will be divided into 3 or 4. So, per person cost goes low. Frugal. Second thing is, there is a great demand of skilled doctors today, or expert doctors today, or specialist doctors today. If the specialist doctor is involved for making simultaneous operation for 4-5 patients, his time is rationalized. 6 patients get benefited because of the sharing of the resources, a skilled doctor. So, the cost per patient also goes low. The doctor is also able to afford his services to many patients simultaneously. So, this is what is a frugal innovation model, and what they do in this model is they train the paramedic to such a level such that they do half of doctor's job, but they try to do it very meticulously, and when they have 4 patients to be catered, all the 4 can be catered simultaneously. So, the benefit is given a lot. So, the turnover time per bed in the hospital is also reduced. That means to say they are able to cater to more patients in a given time. So, that is a new business model. So, this is what is frugal. It in a scalable and a sustainable manner. Sustainability is always a problem. Today I buy a machine, I buy a house. Today I am affordable, I have lot of money, I have lot of energy. So, I buy a house, I buy a costly car, but over a period of time I realize the product needs regular maintenance. So, which is again expensive. So, which is not a sustainable model. So, we have to buy things wherein which we could maintain and take care, that is sustainable manner. It involves either overcoming or tapping institutional voids and resources constraints to create more inclusive market. This is what is the definition which is given by Bhatti in 2011. It involves either overcoming or tapping institutional voids and resources constraints to create more inclusive market is another definition for frugal. Simply, frugal innovation provides functional solution through few resources for many who have little means. Very beautifully, very crisply defined definition. So, functional solution through few resources for many who had little means. So, you are able to give satisfaction to so many customers in an economical way. Okay. This is what is a very simple frugal definition. So, performance and cost. If you see the performance and if you see the cost, the performance is low, the cost is low, it is called as cheap products or products which do not have repeatability, reliability and more of customer satisfaction. And people would like to go from here to here. That means to say they would like to have a higher performance from the same product at a higher price. So, this leads to a lot of customer satisfaction. But the basic question is, who will give the cost? Who will give the cost? So, people today are looking for, can I shift the cost to low here but still have higher performance? So, this portion is nothing but frugal innovation. Okay. So, this graph clearly compares frugal versus regular innovation. Is that clear? So, higher performance and lower cost is frugal. This is what people are looking forward. It is a huge challenge, by the way, it is a very huge challenge. It is not only in product design, it also goes into services. It also, you see, when we buy products, we also have packaging. So, many of the packagings are made out of plastic. So, these plastics are not so eco-friendly. So, now people are looking for, can we make a eco-friendly solution for packaging? Okay. And recently when I was reading through an article, I saw people have started making waste into value added products. So, they say waste is now a resource for making value added products. So, they take the waste, convert the waste into a useful product and they start giving it to the customers. So, let us compare and see the frugal innovation versus standard innovation or a regular innovation. When we compare, so these are the parameters wherein which we compare these two. Environment, if you say, institutional voids and resource constraints are there in frugal, high quality institutions and slack resources are there in standard innovation. When we talk about cost, it is always low cost input and low cost output. So, here it is high cost input and high cost output. This is the comparison. So, if a diffusion approach, it is always bottom up approach, it is top down approach. So, what also Frugal says is, see, the bottom of the triangle is very large. So, Frugal always tries to attack here, and standard innovation, they try to attack in this portion, standard. So, this is the bottom of the triangle, right. So, it is always a bottom up approach when it goes for Frugal. When standard, it is always top down approach. The user are lately majority, low income, limited education. So, think of it, when people have limited education, how are you going to sell your product? I am always amazed with the product called cell phone. Cell phone came into existence in the last 20 years, 20 to 25 years, right. So, in the last 20 to 25 years, it came into existence. Nobody was even aware of a cell phone. Today, everybody uses cell phone left and right. For example, my son who is in 8th standard uses a cell phone. My another son who is in 3rd standard uses a cell phone. My wife who is a school teacher uses a cell phone. My father-in-law who is not even a graduate, so he uses a cell phone, right. My milkman who is completely illiterate, who does not know to read and write, also uses a smartphone. They all enjoy the app called WhatsApp. Everybody enjoys it. Nobody has undergone a training program. Look at it. Nobody has undergone a training program, a legal training program. If you look at it, it is really complex to understand how to log in, how to start using a WhatsApp, how to communicate, how to receive message, how to convert a WhatsApp photo into an email, how to convert an email message into a PDF and then take it back to WhatsApp. All these things are a complex thing. We all do it involuntarily. That means to say, we are doing it without undergoing a training. Just we found out there is a necessity, and the device is so user friendly, so we are able to move things up and down very fast. So, that is what is talk about limited education. Frugal innovation, the smartphone is a frugal innovation, by the way. It is a innovation. It has outbeaten laptops. Laptops at one point of time were around about 1 lakh. Today it has come down to 15,000 and 18,000. You have tab which came into competition. Now tab is slowly pushed out of the market because of smartphone. Smartphone, which was started initially for hello, today hello has become very minor application of the entire smartphone. So look at it, the user, limited education, income. My milkman who does not have an income more than 15,000 holds a phone of worth of 8,000. Half of his salary he invests on a cell phone. Why? Because he understood the importance of technology and the usage of it very well. When you go to user of standard, innovator, early adopters, high income people and highly educated people start using it. Resources, entrepreneurs, family business group and social movements are the resources for frugal innovation. Entrepreneurs and large organizations come to standard innovation. The process is open and distributed. It is always closed. For example, bigger companies hold an IPR, or they don't even file a patent, but they hold everything within them. For example, innovation, standard innovation is your Pepsi and Coke. The formula is not known to anybody, but the products are distributed, everything is done, right. The characteristics are primarily architecture, here it is primarily component. Architecture means it starts from the output and goes towards the input. Standard, sometimes it starts from the basic things and then goes towards an output product. The frugal innovation versus social entrepreneurship. These two are different. The two are most mutually exclusive, and nor is one a subset of the other. Please understand the difference. Very important, very important. there can be overlapping concern as frugal innovation and social enterprise commonly agree on who to benefit, but they differ on how this is best achieved. So, frugal always talks about how do we best achieve. Social enterprise is general stem from a notion that the affluent, particularly those in the West, can promote development using business models that are self-sustaining. Okay. This is social and this is frugal. Frugal versus quality. On the contrary, it needs to be highly robust, giving the extreme environments in which the innovation functions. Okay. So, frugal does not mean that it is a poor quality. Frugal means it is also good quality. Further, the innovation need to be very intuitive to use and require very little servicing. The innovation need to be very intuitive to use. The button should try to lead you to the usage, and the buttons should not be in such a way such that you have to really understand what are all the functions and then start using, and require a very little servicing. That is what is frugal. You might call solution for dummies. This is a common USP for frugal. So, without even knowing the system, by looking at the system, if you can put a simple amount of logics and start moving, you will be able to solve the problems. So, the dimensions on which firms frugally innovate, you have these are the dimensions. One is input costs and R&D, scale up, quality, distribution, output cost and affordability, adaptability, performance, servicing. Your model should always be adaptable. That means to say it has to look for mass customization. The product should look for mass customization. This should also be thought of when you try to develop the product. Is that clear? So, when you talk about input cost, the output cost should be affordability. Performance, you cannot sacrifice performance and quality. Okay. High quality, poor performance, no. High quality, high performance is required. Servicing is also very important. If you follow the concept of modularity, you throw away a part or you remove certain portions, it should not be 100% use and throw. It should be given a freedom wherein which you can start working on certain things and start using it. So, frugal innovation is nothing but simplification. These are the dimensions, please keep it in mind: cost, scale up, quality, distribution, affordability, adaptability, performance and servicing. So, reverse diffusion process, this is called as reverse diffusion process. Frugal reverse cost BOP innovation. Frugal innovation phenomena may also be called as reverse innovation. Frugal is otherwise called as reverse innovation. If GE does not master reverse innovation, the merging giant could destroy the company. So, this was a statement made. Although there are several dimensions to frugal innovations, the overarching theme is simplification in process and outcome. So, this is what a bigger corporate companies look forward and they get it done. There can be many connotations for reverse which are similar to frugal innovation in both process and outcome. So, reverse diffusion process, reverse diffusion and globalization. This is the top down approach, this is the bottom up approach. Top down approach is the traditional top down innovation diffusion, always comes from here. It is costly and it goes down. The bottom of pyramid, it goes like this. So, mass customer needs are triggered frugal constraint based innovation from emerging market. So, this is what it is. I used to say, give one simple example, providing drinking water at an affordable price, maybe 3 rupees a liter, from 10-15 rupees to 3 rupees a liter. Providing a shirt, a full hand shirt for 30 rupees. possible. When I was young, there used to be a company where it was the first time it came in my hometown. That company used to sell shirts at 60 rupees, whereas that time a meter cost. When I was young, we used to buy it in meters, go to a tailor, get it stitched. So I buy a cloth, then I go to a tailor, stitch it, and then I wear it. I stitch it and then wear it. That cost was more than 120 to 130 rupees for a shirt, right? But these shirts was given for 50 rupees and 60 rupees. People said, no, this is more of a duplicate cloth, and the reliability is poor, repeatability is poor, it will fade down very fast. But no, they followed Frugal. That's what it is. Bottom of the pyramid, mass customer needs are triggering Frugal, constraint based innovation from emerging market. So it went like this. So this is a top down approach, this is a bottom up approach. New emerging market firms. Bottom up innovation diffusion starts from the lower side of the triangle and it goes to the upper side of the triangle. So this is one, and the second thing is capital enriching emerging market giants are gobbling up Western firms. So this one is the second thing. So what is happening is the capital enriching emerging market giants are gobbling up the Western firms, and the third one is new emerging market MNCs with global reach are better equipped to fulfill needs to all levels of the consumer pyramid in different markets. So this is what is the latest thing which is coming up. New emerging market MNCs with global reach are better equipped to fulfill needs at all levels of the consumer. So now the big companies, what they are trying to do is they are trying to give solutions to all the three levels of the triangle. So moving up the pyramid from emerging market leader versus traditional moving down. So this was traditional and this is the latest need of the hour. Firstly, Frugal or reverse innovation integrates specific needs of the bottom of the pyramid market as a starting point and work backward to develop appropriate solution which may be significantly different from existing solution designed to address needs of the upmarket segment. Very interesting. If you see that, very interesting. Firstly, Frugal or reverse innovation integrates specific needs of the bottom of the pyramid market. First, they always try to give a solution for the bottom of the pyramid market at the starting point and work backwards to develop appropriate solution. For them, they try to develop solutions. These solutions can be completely new from the existing one, which may be significantly different from the existing solution designed to address the need of the upper segment market. So you might, in the triangle, you might have a solution for the upper segment. There is a solution already available, but when you look at the bottom segment, there is a huge mass, there is a huge need. So this solution need not be brought down here, but revise the solution and bring it to them such that they are affordable and enjoy the product. The context in which the innovation is seen occurring lies in developing market. It is a clear adoption to the often poor logical infrastructure facilities with respect to energy delivery system, water access, transport infrastructure and digital access. For example, people would like to have a comfortable car drive in the city while commuting in the city. So it is personalized vehicle wherein which enough comfort is given in the car, and then people use the car for commuting from their house to office. Then slowly the pollution started, the traffic jam started, people started taking long time to go. Now what has happened is lot of countries or developing countries, metros have started. The metros have air conditioned environment and you have your own personalized equipments available today. So the journey traveling by car is cut short and the comfort is more as compared to that of the car. So now people start looking for, this is a Frugal solution, by the way, this is a Frugal solution, and the solution car is now changed for mass is metro, and people enjoy this metro and start moving here and there. Okay. Secondly, there is a reverse process of diffusion among consumers. Process of diffusion among consumers. Innovation is often perceived in the developed world as technological revolutionary products tried and tested by innovators and early adopters. Okay. The innovation is often perceived in the developed world as technological revolutionary products tried and tested by innovators and early adopters. For example, cell phone with a torch light is an example which was not there. The torch light was not there when Nokia developed this design and sitting in Finland. It was tested, it was proved success. But when they came to India, they realized that torchlight is a necessary evil to be present in a cell phone, and they took it back and integrated today. So the innovation is often perceived in the developed world as technological revolutionary products. Okay. They accepted a cell phone, tried and tested by innovators and early adopters. Trendy and expensive products are accepted by the top of the pyramid first, which then gets trickled down to the masses or early and late majority customers. Professional groups in their highest income bracket in society that constitute the tip of the income pyramid acts as an early adopter, and the first tryout group contributes to the innovation monopoly rents on the innovative firms. So they always try to make an innovative product and attack at the top end. For them it is affordable, and they are the people with whom they are tested, but it has to happen here for frugal innovation. So when we see the process, so innovators are 2.5%, early adopters are 13.5%, early majority are 34%, late majority are 34%, laggards are 16%. So this is a typical direction for innovation diffusion to happen, and any event to happen follows a binomial distribution. Any event to happen happens a binomial distribution, right? And when we look at the market share, what happens is, when it is innovator market, it is 2.5%, it is very less. So if you see, the market is here. Okay. Then when we talk about early innovators, it is here close to 25. When you talk about 30, 35, it is here. When you talk about 50, it is here. So this is a graph which talks about market share percentage with respect to the developing. Okay. And if you see, typically what happens, this is how the innovation gets diffused, but what Frugal wants is from here. So legenders, late majority, they wanted to use, and this is how a frugal innovation has to happen. The first challenge, the frugal innovation, the challenges are, the first challenge is, that is resource constraints, refers to the resource scarcity that prevail in the developed market. Either the necessary resources are simply not available, or people lack the means to access them. For example, human resource is also a resource, apart from materials resource. Okay. And apart from energy resource. So first challenge is the resource constraints, refers to the source of scarcity that prevail in the developed country. The second challenge refers to a variation of resource constraints that, rather than being faced at the upstream part of the value chain, concern the downstream part. With poverty being omnipresent, innovators have to realize that affordability constraint, that is lack of purchasing power, can pose yet another barrier for innovation. Okay. This is the variation of resource constraints that, rather than being faced at the upstream of the value chain, concern the downstream part. The moving beyond resource constraint addresses the institutional context as the third constraint, or a third challenge of innovation that exists in the emerging market. While the features generally stifle business activities by increasing transaction cost and therefore represent a major hurdle for MNCs and enterprise, they at some time create an ideal context of rethinking one's prevalent assumptions about the innovation. While the features generally stifle business activities by increasing transaction cost, transportation cost, and therefore represent a major hurdle for MNCs and enterprises. They at the same time create an ideal context for rethinking one's prevalent assumptions about the innovation. So, this is a big challenge. Institutional context, address the institutional context is the next challenge. When we talk about the value chain model of frugal innovation based on contextual environment is upstream input is capital, skill and labor, and these are the resource scarcities, by the way, these are the resource scarcities, and you see upstream inputs and downstream inputs. Downstream inputs are customer with low affordability is a downstream output. So, here it is upstream input is capital, skill, labor. Then we have contracts, rules, trust and legitimacy. These are institutional voids. These are resource scarcity, these are institutional voids. Contracts, rules, trust, legitimacy, distribution and supply chain for access. This in the innovation side, this is the institutional void. So, this is a graph or this is a figure, schematic diagram or a block diagram, not a schematic diagram, a block diagram which talks about the value chain model of frugal innovation. Capital, skill, labor, contract, rules, trust, legitimacy, customer with lower affordability, distribution and supply chain for access. The frugal innovation process starts with knowledge of the local context. Various scholars conclude that the process of frugal innovation appears to require a high level of embeddedness in the local context of the target market. For example, whenever we start developing a product design, what we do is we do a lot of cut and paste from the data available, from the websites available. We start looking at those things as reference material and we start developing it. Many of the reference documented material are all available in the developed countries and at few metros in India where the companies have their extension counter. If you are staying in a remote place, okay, remote place, or in particular a country like developing country like India, there you might not get several of these resources which are used in the design, which is available in the design to copy and do it in your product, because those things are not available. So, I had a good friend of mine, Professor Prashant Kumar, who always used to say, moment you make a design, then go to the market and look at the market and make a list of all available items which is in the market. Then come back, sit on your design table and start relooking into the design with the locally available material and improvise your design. Why? Because the cost is going to be affordable, the time is not going to be expensive. So, you do not have to have a large waiting time. And the third thing is you should understand the skill what is available with us. So, in the local market, what is the skill? So, that is what knowledge on the local context is very, very important, very important. People think of constructing huge buildings, but if there is a scarcity for the construction material, then you cannot construct it, it becomes too expensive. So, the knowledge of the local context is very, very important. Understand the customer, understand the resources and start thinking for a product. Collaboration. Today's world in innovation is a team effort. Innovation does not need intelligence. Innovation needs a problem solver who can understand customer voice and sit down with people and start developing an output for that thing. Collaboration with external partners throughout all phases of the innovation process and often from various geography and industries seem to be another crucial part of the frugal innovation process. Collaboration with external partners. For example, you can develop a product design, you can do POC, but selling it in market, sales is not your job. So, you can't do sales. So, you look for a partner, or you while developing the product itself, you establish some vendors who can machine it for you, make it for you. So subcontracting, collaborate with external partners throughout all the phases of innovation process, and often from various geographies and industries, seem to be another crucial part of the frugal innovation. The reasons are manifold but mainly related to cost reduction and knowledge access. So the purpose of external collaboration in frugal renovation process, these are costs. It helps considerably in reducing the cost of the ownership of the customer. Knowledge, it enables access to the proprietary knowledge and the crucial technical or market known, how thereby shortening the learning curve, reducing the innovation risk, and ultimately increasing the quality. So what happens today is, in almost all the government projects today which is released by Government of India, there is a provision of appointing consultant. So consultant means who has a very good knowledge in a very narrow field, which can be picked up and used for your product development. So that is what is knowledge. Promotion, it enhances the brand image and the quality perception from the population. For example, brand image, when somebody sees like this on a shoe, they always say it's a Nike shoe. The brand value is built in. So they say, if they see this model, they say it's a good shoe, good quality shoe. If you can try to market with those people under their banner, that is what is promotion, wherein which we always look for external collaboration. Distribution, it allows improved access to another extremely dispersed customer base. For example, if you can make products and tie up with some of the big malls, big supply chain or big food chain vendors, then it becomes easy for you to sell your product. So you need to have cost collaboration, knowledge collaboration, promotional collaboration, and distribution collaboration for your frugal innovative product. The third thing is going to be clean slate approach. When the clean slate approach is, whenever you are trying to solve a problem, don't go with preconceived notion. Try to look at the problem from a clean slate, look at it from all perspective, customer's perspective, and try to give a solution. Frugal suggests that the frugal innovation is to be approached from a clean slate approach. So it is important to note that clean slate does not refer to stripping down of an existing product, but rather approaching innovation with an open-mindedness and starting from the scratch. Okay, it's not to criticize, it is only to start from the scratch and go solving this problem. You using existing technologies, don't try to reinvent the wheel, that is what is there. Arguing for a clean slate approach does not mean that the firm pursues frugal innovation should discard the existing technologies extremely. You should not discard the technology, you should only start giving solution for the customer voice product. So that is what is the extreme technology we are talking about. Business model innovation. The frugal innovation often involves a creation of a new business model, as in many cases the existing approach to doing business does not fit the disruptive character of frugal innovation. For example, online purchase. Today online purchase has come up to such a big extent that people have stopping to go do window shopping. So the window shopping today, it is done digitally. People look at the price, people look at comparison of the prices, people try to book it online, and the delivery of the product happens at home. If the product is damaged, it is taken as return, new one is issued, or the money is refunded. So these are all new business models which has completely made towards digitization, and people start enjoying it. Ola and Uber are a new business model innovation. Okay, people are able to afford for the solution or for the service whatever they take, and it is a sustainable solution. The driver gets the salary, the customer pays the money either through digital or through cash. He has the freedom, and he knows what is the waiting time, he knows the route with which the car travels, everything is known to him. So this is a business model. In this vein, the frugal products and services often do not limit to invention of a product or service itself, but also covers the diffusion and operational aspects in context with which it functions. So what are the frugal innovator traits? Building circular value network. Most companies today operate linear value chain, in which the products are designed, produced, sold, and consumed, and end up in landfills, right? End up in landfills. So here what we talk about is circular value network. So for example, you buy a product, so you try to, so this is what it is in a very, very crude fashion. It goes to reduce, reuse and recycle. So what we are trying to talk about is these two, okay, in particular recycle. So it is a landfill. So what we do is the product which comes out goes back into the chain and keeps on moving, right. So crowdsource solution. Across sectors, businesses in the developed world now face wicked problems that are complex and messy. Relying solely on in-house capability and resources will not work as a strategy. So crowdsource solutions are something which is now talked about much. So whatever is the existing solution locally available, they lead to complex and messy solutions. So people are saying that let's look at the solution which is available in other places. For example, agriculture in Israel, where there is not much of water, people do successful irrigation. So that model can be copied to Indian system, but however it has to be customized to Indian scenario. So crowd solutions, right, looking for solution available in different countries. Simplifying structures and empower employee. To save time and gain agility, companies must learn to flex their assets, not just physically or service assets, but also human assets. That means to say, when you have to do frugal innovation, one of the biggest resources is human resource. So you have to train the human resource to be flexible enough to work in different fields depending upon the requirements coming. The CEO must simplify organizational structures by eliminating bureaucracy. If frugal has to happen, the company should not have vertical structures, it should have a horizontal structure. So that means to say everybody feels it is their company, everybody feels it is their contribution is towards the welfare of the product. There is no verticals, it is all to be horizontal builds for the institute. So these institutes are very successful, or companies are very successful. Use KPI to incentivize and sustain frugal behavior across the organization. The CEO must create simplified key performance indicator to drive frugal thinking and action at all levels. So giving incentive is another thing when somebody does this key performance indicator towards frugal. So this includes recruitment, training, performance management and incentive system. Evangelize the do better with less mantra. So this is what is again frugal. Companies should not merely communicate their bold frugal innovation goals by issuing press release. Instead, corporate leaders must put their personal reputation on the line by making major public announcements about these goals by restating them incessantly to employees, customers, innovators and partners. Do better with less is the mantra which is used. Now we will see 3 or 4 examples which have been done by frugal. One example is Mitti Cool. Mitti Cool is a small refrigerator which is thought of for people below the poverty line. So during summer, to maintain fresh vegetables and perishable items, for a longer time. So Mitti Cool is a product which is very popular in India. A traditional clay craftsman, because an expert in the field understood there is a customer voice, he started redrafting the craft into a refrigerator, from a pottery to a refrigerator. Prajapati, Maksuki Bai Prajapati literally turned soil into gold. He harnessed the cooling property of clay and created a low-cost biodegradable refrigerator made out of clay called Mitti Cool. It became an instant hit in his village, and since then there is no look back for him. His factory is producing other kitchenery because he knows how to convert clay into a biodegradable refrigerator. So he has started understanding that there is lot of need in the below the poverty line kitchenware. So his other kitchenware is also made. This village entrepreneur has been recognized and awarded by national and international organizations. So he is the Prajapati, and this is his products. All the perishable items are kept inside. So he pours water on the top, and the clay has a property of cooling. So through this property, he is able to maintain a cold environment, maintain the humidity to a large extent, and also maintain the temperature. So, he has extended the life of the perishable goods. So, this is a frugal innovation. The next frugal innovation is motorbike tractor. So, a tractor is very expensive. Motorbike is a common vehicle, a transport vehicle available in the villages. So, they have integrated the tractor, the device of tractor which is used to plow the field. So, they have integrated it to a bike. So, they have dismantled it, made an adapter. So, it can be used for both. It follows the concept of modularity. So, Mansuki Bai motorbike turned tractor is both custom effective and fuel effective. It just takes 30 minutes, it can plow an acre of land with meager 2 liters of fuel. This bullet Santi has helped to increase the productivity by cutting the cost of labor and bullock carts. See, today machines are available for capital intensive machines are available for big farmers, but for a small farmer who owns 1 acre and 2 acre, there is a lot of dearth for developing agricultural implements for them. So, here is a frugal innovation which is made and it is very successful. So, Godrej company came out with their innovation, frugal innovation, which is called as Chotu Cool and Chotu Wash. So, this is a refrigerator and this is a small washing machine. Okay. So, they came up with this Godrej. So, big companies have started investing in frugal and they have also produced products which can be done. The biggest success which had happened in India towards frugal is Jaipur legs. Shetty, the Jaipur foot owner are also known as Jaipur leg, is a rubber made prosthetic leg for a people with below knee amputation. So, this came up in a very big success and today people from several underdeveloped countries come to India, copy this model and develop this idea to take this idea to their country, and Jaipur Foods also handholds them towards this thing, and the patients come here and they get affordable rubber based prosthetic legs for them. The invention led by Dr. Seth won Magsaysay Award for the community leadership in 1981 and Padma Shri which is given by the Indian government in the same year. The NGO Bhagwan Mahavir Viklan Shashwat Samiti BMVSS based in Jaipur, Rajasthan, the world's largest organization serving disability, is receiving government and voluntary support from home and abroad to enable the disabled to stand on their own feet. So, this is the Samiti which helps, and this is a doctor who developed this foot, and today it is used for several things. People with lower amputation, for them it is a God's gift. They could walk, they could start walking and getting better things done. The last example is pedaling washing machine which was developed. Remya hated washing clothes but had no respect. She invented a washing cum exercising machine that used pedaling rather than electricity to wash and dry clothes. This is a frugal solution which is made. So, she has taken the idea from a cycle. So, the cycle sprocket and wheel with the chain, she sat down there and she does exercising for her foot, and parallelly simultaneously she has also started washing the clothes inside this bin. So, frugal innovation is something Indians are very successful and they are looking for, and apart from that we have Aravind High Hospital, Hridayalaya have Heart Special Hospital, there are Narayana Hridayalaya. So many hospitals and so many companies have started moving towards frugal innovation, and India is one country which is more successful in frugal innovation. So, I would like all the students to look forward for frugal solutions for the existing problems. So, to recap, what is frugal innovation we saw? How is frugal different from regular innovation we saw? What is reverse diffusion process? Challenges faced in frugal innovation, value chain model, and what is it we saw? How do we pursue frugal innovation? Then qualities in a frugal innovator, what all traits and qualities required, and some of the successful frugal innovators or innovation which happened in India, we also saw very briefly. So, the task for the students are going to be, the students are required to make or study 3 case studies. One is Aravind Eye Hospital model, which is a very successful frugal innovation model. There are many, but I am just taking you 3 cases. The next one is Narayana Heart. Example, heart center, it is called as Narayana Hridalaya. So, Narayana Heart Center example, this is at Bangalore, and here also there is a case study which is available. There are a lot of YouTube available, videos available, TEDx talks are available, and on top of it there is a lot of PDF also available. Please go through it and see how they do the frugal innovation. And the last one is going to be, you are going to look at lot of irrigation models wherein which frugal is now talked about. Okay. So, these 3 examples or assignments are given to you. You are supposed to read it and note it down. So, this helps you to further appreciate the chapter whatever we studied on frugal innovation. Thank you very much.